In the U.S., the head of aircraft maker Boeing has apologized to the relatives of victims killed in crashes involving its planes in 2018 and 2019. Chief Executive Dave Calhoun was giving testimony at hearings in the Senate. In all, 346 people were killed in the accidents caused by problems with the flight control software.
Families of victims who were killed in two plane crashes involving Boeing 737 MAX jets gather on Capitol Hill. They are calling for justice, for Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun to take responsibility for what they say were known problems with aircraft that were in service.
My being here is so that Calhoun can see my father's face and see the cost of his decisions. I mean, if we are here living in this nightmare that doesn't seem to end of what has now become our lives, why should the people who made decisions continue to not face the people that they let down?
All I could think is the 6 minutes and 4 seconds of my daughter on that Boeing 37 MAX. Did she cry for me? Did she know that will be his last breath? Did someone hold their hands? So Calhoun, Boeing, CEO, management, did you hear my daughter cry?
The hearing began by Calhoun addressing the family members present.
I would like to apologize on behalf of all of our Boeing associates spread throughout the world, past and present, for your losses.
Before he sat to face a grilling by senators.
I think the truth is, Mr. Calhoun, you're not focused on safety, you're not focused on quality, you're not focused on transparency. All of this is in the record.
Boeing's ongoing production problems were in the spotlight again in January this year after a door panel fell off an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 plane mid-flight. Calhoun defends Boeing's safety record and denies allegations that the company ignored concerns of whistleblowers. But lawmakers say there is overwhelming evidence that the US Justice Department should pursue prosecution against Boeing.
Kate Ferguson from DW Business has been following the proceedings, and she joins me now in the studio. Welcome, Kate. So this has been quite a remarkable hearing, hasn't it? What stood out for you?
Yeah, well, I think this really was a moment of reckoning for Boeing and for Dave Calhoun. If you just even consider his position in physical space, on one side, he had the families of the victims of those two crashes in 2018 and 19. The family of a whistleblower who took his own life earlier this year, they were also there. And then on the other side, he had lawmakers, some of whom were really furious in their questioning. We heard some fresh allegations about hundreds of parts that were uncertified that have apparently ended up in Boeing aircraft. And we also had a description of a work culture that really put so much pressure on people to up production that they were encouraged to cut corners on safety. So for Calhoun, who was brought in after the crashes, we should say, to restore Boeing's reputation, this was a pretty awful day.
Yeah, and Boeing's problems are having repercussions on the industry as a whole, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's some really practical implications for airlines. If you take United, for example, because Boeing, I should say, has been banned from increasing production of its Airbus 370, of its 737 MAX. Because of that, any airline that had been planning on buying these planes has to put those plans on hold, and that has implications on profitability and on jobs, of course. So that's one aspect. Another side of this is that it has been good news for Airbus, which was clearly on my mind just now, Boeing's rival, because a lot of airlines have chosen to buy more Airbus aircraft as a result of this crisis. And then finally, I should say that from a consumer's point of view, this has just led to such a high level of mistrust. There are actually some websites like Kayak that let you filter out Boeing aircraft, and we know that this function has been really popular. So the reputational damage has just been enormous here.
Now, Boeing has vowed to do better. Calhoun won't be there to oversee that process. What will come of all of this?
Yeah, so Calhoun is stepping down at the end of this year. There has been one name circulating as a possible successor, Stephanie Pope. She's currently the chief operating officer at Boeing. And, some people think she might want the job, but on the other hand, there's a big argument to be made for getting somebody external at this point. And one other really significant aspect of this is that there is a chance that Boeing could face criminal prosecution. And that is in relation to its commitment to enforce this compliance and ethics program, which it apparently has not done. So that could be something that lands on the desk of Calhoun's successor. I would not like to be in their shoes, to be honest.
Nope, me neither. That was Kate Ferguson from DW Business. Thank you so much.
Thanks.